So, like so many of you, I have watched the clips and read a lot of articles about what's happening in Tennessee with the expulsion of two of the state House members. This is the Shermichael Singleton Show. I'm your host, Shermichael Singleton. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. And so, like many of you having watched this, I do have a lot of thoughts on it. Decorum is important in the House and in the Senate, whether at the federal level or the state level. I think peaceful protests, those things are also important. I think there's a time and place for disruption. I think you have to be very, very careful when you're in the minority, considering the political climate right now, where your actions may go, what they may lead to. I would not have supported expelling these members. I probably would have suspended them for some temporary amount of time or temporarily removed them from their committee assignments, because I do believe decorum is important. I think expulsion was a bit far, though. I think we're really at the precipice right now in this country of a serious explosion. There's a powder keg here that's ready to explode. And if we're not very careful, you know, that old aphorism, if you play with fire, you're destined to get burned. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're playing with fire. And we're this close. We're this close to third-degree burns. The state of Tennessee and their lawmakers have every right, from my understanding of their laws there, to do what they did. That is in their right. But just because something is in the legal constitutional, state constitution that is, right to do, doesn't mean that it's the best decision to make. And this is where discernment comes in. I think discernment is impeccably important. You know that we're divided. They just had this shooting in Tennessee. I'm a big gun guy, okay? I'm a big 2A guy. I have a company that focuses on firearms, and so I'm a big supporter of the Second Amendment. But I also know when, as it pertains to firearms, those debates and conversations are either left or right. There really isn't any middle ground on them. And it's really, really hard and challenging and difficult to have those types of conversations. But that's why elected officials are elected. They're elected to have those difficult, hard conversations. The role of being a legislator is not an easy one. It's a challenging one. And it's one that is filled oftentimes with contradictions. It's one that one hopes to avoid multiple paradoxes as you try to figure out complex things and the nuances of individuals on a broad ideological spectrum, and trying to figure out how to make all of those folks agree on something is not easy. But that's the job of being a legislator. And so I do understand that peaceful protest is an essential part of a cornerstone of our democracy, of our democratic republic. I just don't know, looking at some of the videos I've seen of all the people in the gallery and the screaming and the yelling, that's just not the way to do it. Now, if you want to do that outside the building, be my guest. Do that outside of the building. But when you're in the minority and you know how divided things are right now, you already know how certain sides are feeling about each other, why pour gasoline on a fire that's already lit? And that's not to say that I agree with the expulsion. I don't think the two representatives should have been expelled. I think a suspension and temporary committee removals would have sufficed enough. That would have been good enough for me. But I'm not in Tennessee, and I do understand when one has power, they will yield that power in any way they see fit. And that's exactly what the Tennessee State Republicans have done. My hope is that these gentlemen will be able to come back to their roles. From my understanding, that's not going to happen. I was just reading today that a Shelby County commissioner told Fox 13 in Memphis that Nashville leaders are threatening to take away funding from Memphis and other Shelby County projects if the county commission decides to reinstate at least one of the expelled members. That's Justin Pearson. And so we're in really dangerous territory here, guys. Really, really dangerous territory where we're utilizing raw, unfeathered power as a weapon against those who are ideologically opposed to us. I don't want to go down that road. I'm just telling you, I do not want to go down that road, and you shouldn't either. I mean, this is dangerous stuff here that we're talking about, where members are saying, we're going to use our power to quiet and silence those who we disagree with because we don't like their actions. And was there a better way for those gentlemen to behave? In my opinion, yes. Protest. If you want to use your bullhorns, protest outside of the chambers, outside of the building. And then if you want to protest in the chamber, there are ways you can do that. Go and give a speech, a lengthy speech. Go and argue and articulate your perspective and your position. And then you can also protest with the people if you so see it. There are ways to be strategic in your aims if you're trying to accomplish a goal. And I just don't know if these guys really thought this through. And unfortunately, here is the result. And I simply say, what do people expect? I'm not saying that I agree with it. I'm not saying that it's morally right or ethically right. But what do people expect? When you have power, you get to dictate the rules. If I had power, I would dictate the rules in accordance with what I want them to be. Now, I would presume I would be fair and objective and methodical. But that is the reality that people have to understand as we assess this. But this is an unfortunate reality. I'm really concerned about where we're going in this country politically. I believe that we are truly seeing the demise of our empire, of our republic. Maybe this is the first demise and not the demise that ends all things. Similar to the Romans, maybe this is the first downshift in American superiority, and we'll bounce back for a few hundred years, and then we'll cease to exist and become a bit part of an irrelevant nation, just like Great Britain and others. So this is just an unfortunate place to be in, my friends, and I am just hoping that things in this country get better. I really am. This is the Shermichael Singleton Show. Make sure you like this video, comment, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell to get updates to our future uploads. And let me know what you think about this. Do you think that the guys could have been more strategic? Should they have protested outside of the chamber, outside of the building, that is, with people who are saying we want more done on this particular issue? And then could they not have gone inside of the chamber and have done their jobs and given great speeches and tried to talk with their colleagues about why this is important? They could have done that. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Do you think this was acceptable? And if you do, it's okay. You don't have to agree with me. That's the beautiful thing about America. We should be able to disagree and talk about these things and discuss why we disagree with each other. So let me know your comments beneath this video. I look forward to hearing them. I'm Shermichael Singleton. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.